Taking a look at Newmont here, and this is one of the most bullish things that I have ever seen. And I'll show you why right now. This little pattern right here, and it's just kind of hanging out underneath 80 bucks here. You got this increasing volume here on the rally, okay? And this kind of, you had this period of increasing volume on this rally too. And now, under all this kind of consolidation is what the term is called. The interpretation of this is from the price data and the volume data that institutional demand has soaked up all of this supply in here. And now, let's zoom in here, with prices just kind of banging against 80, right there, trying to get into 80 bucks. Okay, that the institutional demand has soaked up all of the supply, and that's why you see this kind of this well this U shape in this supply here, kind of, roughly. You see the big supply, big trading going on there, big volume trading going on here, and kind of nothing throughout this region in here in the middle. So the interpretation of that price and volume data is that institutional demand, guys with way more money than you and me, okay, are soaking up all this supply of stock at 70, okay, up there at 70. And so now the analysis, the interpretation of this price and volume data is that all the supply is gone, and if demand remains consistent, right, and that's an assumption. You have to assume, based on your knowledge and your view, that the demand for these shares is going to stay the same. Right? We don't even need increase in demand. We just assume it stays the same. And you got to use, that's a qualitative analysis. You got to look at what's going on and kind of assess, is the demand for these shares going to stay the same? It is for me. And that's a big assumption, because we can only know so much from price and volume data, and then we make an interpretation of that. And if your interpretation is correct, we should get one of these, okay? You're going to see some kind of, zoom in here, some kind of a little, like a breakout at 80 bucks here. I mean, it's just so bullish. This little kind of a wedge, kind of a little, that little wedge right here, that's the key, right? That's showing you the interpretation is. It's showing me. This is my interpretation. It doesn't mean anything. It's just an assumption. It's a hypothesis. The hypothesis is that all the supply underneath 80 is now gone, all right? Guys with lots of money bought it all up, and there is no more supply. That's the analysis. So that's what's going on here, according to my hypothesis. Now, if I'm right, if my hypothesis is correct, and all the supply underneath 80 is gone, it's taken off the market, and it's in strong hands, guys who are going to hold for 2-3 years, some kind of intermediate to longer term time frame like that, you're going to see, you have to see the laws of supply and demand. The supply is gone, so the demand stays the same. You're going to see something take off. So, and that's easy, because you got this little, area right here for your stop, So if this analysis is incredibly incorrect and just wishful thinking, and a bunch of random lines I'm drawing on a chart, and you get some kind of a down move like that, well, then, you risk like what, 10 bucks here? Not a bad deal, So there you go.